Hello and welcome to our program. You are watching One TV News Bulletin in English at 5. I'm Yanni Moutsios. Here are today's top stories. President Joe Biden thanked Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis for his country's moral leadership in the aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine as the two held talks at the White House about the ongoing conflict. European Union says it is okay for countries to open bank accounts and pay in rubles for natural gas as Russia demands. Recep Tayyip Erdogan says the two Nordic nations should not bother sending delegations to convince Turkey of their bids. President Joe Biden on Monday thanked Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis for his country's moral leadership in the aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine as the two held talks at the White House about the ongoing conflict. The visit by Mitsotakis comes as he was in Washington to mark a COVID-delayed commemoration of the bicentennial of the start of the Greek War of Independence, a more than 8-year-long struggle that led to the ouster of the Ottoman Empire. The President and First Lady Jill Biden hosted Mitsotakis and his wife, Mareva Mitsotakis later Monday at a White House reception to mark the bicentennial. But the celebratory moment was overshadowed by the most significant fighting on the continent since World War II, and as Biden seeks to keep the West unified as it pressures Russia to end the war. We are now facing united the challenge of Russian aggression, Mitsotakis said at the start of his meeting with Biden. The Prime Minister added that the United States-Greek relationship was at an all-time high. As Europe looks to wean itself off Russian energy, Mitsotakis has pushed the idea of Greece becoming an energy hub that can bring gas from Southwest Asia and the Middle East to Eastern Europe. A new Greece to Bulgaria pipeline, built during the COVID-19 pandemic, tested and due to start commercial operation in June, is slated to bring large volumes of gas between the two countries in both directions to generate electricity, fuel industry and heat homes. The new pipeline connection, called the Gas Interconnector Greece-Bulgaria, will give Bulgaria access to ports in neighboring Greece that are importing liquefied natural gas, or LNG, and also will bring gas from Azerbaijan through a new pipeline system that ends in Italy. Russia announced last month it was cutting off natural gas exports to Bulgaria and Poland over the country's refusal to pay in rubles. The Oval Office meeting with Biden also comes after Greece, a fellow NATO nation, last week formally extended its bilateral military agreement with the United States for 5 years, replacing an annual review of the deal that grants the United States military access to 3 bases in mainland Greece, as well as the American naval presence on the island of Crete. Mitsotakis has expressed support for Finland and Sweden seeking membership in the NATO Defence Alliance, a development welcomed by much of the 30-nation group, with the notable exception of Turkey, which remains locked in a decades-old dispute with Greece on sea boundaries and mineral rights in the Eastern Mediterranean. Let's take a short glimpse of what the two leaders said in the Oval Office prior to the one-to-one meeting.
Sadly, Russia's brutal attack on Ukraine is also about threat to democracy from autocrats and want to bear down on rules-tested orders and rule-based orders. I want to thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for Greece's moral leadership here. It's not easy, I know, but thank you. And we have much to discuss today: our ongoing support for Ukraine, our deepening defense and trade partnerships, energy security, climate change, and so much more. Today, the friendship and partnership between our countries, between Greeks and Americans, is, I think, more important than ever. And I'm honored to celebrate that partnership with you because you've been a good friend. So, welcome. The floor.
We're now facing united the challenge of Russia's invasion into Ukraine. At the same time, this visit is an opportunity to reassess the status of our relationship. I honestly believe it is at an all-time high. And I'm not just speaking about the defense component of the relationship, but I'm also speaking about trade, investment, Greece's role as a reliable partner in the Eastern Mediterranean, as a country that overcame the financial crisis with a booming economy, and as a pillar of stability both in the Balkans and in the broader region. So when we talk about issues such as energy security, there's so much more we can do together, and I'm very, very happy to be here with you to discuss these important topics and later to be able to address also your many Greek American friends.
Now stay with us. European Union says it is okay to open bank account and pay in rubles for natural gas. Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the two Nordic nations should not bother sending delegations to convince Turkey, a key NATO member, of their bids. He is angered by what he sees as their willingness to host Kurdish militants. Without the support of all NATO members, Sweden and Finland cannot join the military alliance. On Monday, Sweden said Europe was living in a dangerous new reality, referring to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin said the move by Finland and Sweden to join the 30-member military alliance did not threaten Moscow directly, but stressed that any expansion of military infrastructure would trigger a response from the Kremlin. At a news conference on Monday, Mr. Erdogan said Turkey opposed the Finnish and the Swedish bids to join NATO, describing Sweden as a hatchery for terrorist organizations. Neither of these countries have a clear, open attitude towards terrorist organizations. How can we trust them, the Turkish president said. Turkey accuses the two Nordic nations of harboring members of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, PKK, a group it views as a terrorist organization, and followers of Fethullah Gulen, who Ankara accuses of orchestrating a 2016 coup attempt. All member states must agree that a new country can join NATO. Therefore, Sweden and Finland require Turkey's support in their bid to join the military alliance. Mr. Erdogan said Swedish and Finnish delegations should not bother going to Ankara, Turkey's capital, to convince it to approve their NATO bid. His government has also pledged to block applications from countries that have imposed sanctions on it. In 2019, both Nordic nations slapped an arms embargo on Ankara after its incursion into Syria. Speaking in Parliament in Helsinki on Monday, Finnish Foreign Minister Pekka Haavisto said he was surprised by Turkey's stance, but added that his government was not interested in bargaining with Mr. Erdogan. The European Union said companies can keep buying gas without breaching sanctions as it softened its stance in a standoff with Moscow over energy supplies. The European Commission sent its revised guidelines to member states on Friday, a spokesperson said on Monday. In the updated recommendations, it said companies should make a clear statement that they consider their obligations fulfilled once they pay in euros or dollars. European Union sanctions do not prevent economic operators from opening a bank account in a designated bank for payments due under contracts for their supply of natural gas in a gaseous state in the currency specified in those contracts, the Commission said. Operators should make a clear statement that they intend to fulfill the obligations under existing contracts and consider the contractual obligations regarding the payment already fulfilled by paying in euros or dollars in line with the existing contracts. The guidance does not prevent companies from opening an account at Gazprom Bank and will allow them to purchase gas in accordance with European Union sanctions following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But it stops short of addressing the requirement by Moscow to open a second account in rubles, which, according to a decree by President Vladimir Putin, is needed to make the payment complete. European companies are starting to move ahead to comply with Russian demands and keep the gas flowing. Italian energy giant Enispa will move to open accounts in rubles and euros with Gazprom Bank by Wednesday so that it can make payments on time this month and avoid any risks to gas supplies, according to people familiar with the situation. That's all for now. Next news bulletin in Greek at 6. Thank you for watching.